Today, I want to speak about something that is very subtle, but incredibly life-changing. I want to talk about feelings. But even deeper, I want to talk about or speak about the difference between feeling emotionally and feeling experientially. Both are feelings, but they show up for us in different ways. And oh my goodness, they shape our lives completely differently. So this is an important awareness to have. Like, feeling emotionally is what we're most familiar with. It's that emotional wave that comes over us when we're caught up in a story, or when we're caught up in something that we're really attached to. And it typically brings in the past or our fears of the futures. And it's that, like, emotional feeling is the kind of energy that makes us say, I'm upset because this happened, because you did this, because this is happening. Or it's an emotional feeling that comes up because it reminds you of something. So you'll say, this reminds me of when, and I don't know, maybe you're upset or you're angry or you're sad, whatever emotional feeling is coming up for you, but you're caught in the story. You're caught up in maybe something of the past, or what if this happens again in the future? And it's, not only is it caught up in the past and the future, but it's tied to blame. It's got all the stories. But this is where we get caught up in the loop of hurt, of fear, of anger, of frustration, of disappointment. This is where all of our insecurities pop up. And oh my goodness, don't get me started on the anxiety that this creates. So this is why we want to become very aware of our emotional feelings. There's not good or bad feelings. Every emotion deserves attention, because you know what? We can even feel happiness within. We can have emotional happiness. That's a wonderful feeling. It's an emotion that feels better than, say, anger does, right? But it also comes when things are going right, or when our life lines up with all of our expectations. So these emotional feelings are valid, they're human, and they're very real. And they all depend on the conditions of what's happening all around us, or what's happening in our minds, the story in our mind. This is when we say, I'm just caught up in my head, I'm looping in the story. So that's emotional feeling, very much attached to the story. Now, experiential feeling is completely different. In order for us to feel experientially, it takes us deeper. It's quieter, and it's really hard to put into words because it's a felt sense. It goes beyond the story, and that's why it's really important. That's why it's so subtle. If we can actually feel experientially, we can go beyond the story. It can even go, I wouldn't say beyond the emotion, but it goes deeper than the emotion. So again, it's hard to put into words, but I'm going to do my best here. Like, let's, and it can be anything. Again, there's no right or wrong emotions. There's no good or bad. Every emotion deserves our attention. So let's take sadness. So sadness, again, we can get looped up into a story, but really sadness points to, people that we've loved and have maybe lost. Or sadness allows us to tap into compassion. It's it's like once we allow ourselves to feel the emotion, and it just really shows us where our heart's been invested. We can't get sad about things that don't matter. So it's like, okay, well, this person mattered to me, or this thing mattered to me. That's why I'm feeling sadness now. So that's where we can tap into compassion. And when we allow ourselves to feel it experientially, like feel the sadness, our hearts become softer, wiser, more open. But when we don't allow ourselves to feel the sadness or the anger, whatever it is that you're feeling, and it goes actually unfelt, so you don't actually get the experiential feeling of that emotion, well, it's trapped. It's stuck in the mind. You're stuck in your mind and the story, and then it leaks out. It leaks out in like irritability and frustration. It might shut us down, or maybe it just, maybe it heightens our emotions. And it just leads to, assuming things, taking things personally. It's just, it needs to be felt so you can get out of your head and you can feel it in your body. So ways that we can tap more into this ability to feel experientially is to take a breath, to tap into our heart space. Like this is, the feeling when you are like swept away by the most beautiful sunset, or maybe it's a sunrise. It's like, it's breathtaking. Like maybe chills, or you're just in awe. That's the feeling of the experience. Maybe holding a baby or a newborn for the very first time. It's like pure love. Belly laughing, with your friends, right? When you laugh so hard that you're crying, that's that feeling. It's, when you're in the presence of someone you love dearly, or making love with someone that you love dearly. It's the experience. It's the felt sense. What about when you're doing something you love? Like you lose all time. It's like, oh my gosh, it feels like 10 minutes went by and it's an hour. Like, where did that time go? Because you're caught up in the experience of it. For me, standing in nature and just, if the sun is out, just the warmth of the sun on my skin, or maybe feeling the warmth of or the coolness of the air, right? It is that moment of being in the moment. It's the present moment. And that's the kind of feeling that experiential feeling is. It's not tied to a story. It's not tied to the past. It's not tied to the future. It is your direct experience of the present moment. And the emotions that arise here aren't reactive. They're expansive. It is, wonder and awe and connection and love. Emotional feeling is the emotional feelings are what we get stuck in. That's that story. We're caught in our head. It's a loop. It just replays. It gets triggered by old fears and memories and old patterns and habits. But experiential feeling takes us out of that loop. And it brings us more into the truth of who we are. And it's the present moment. It connects us. It grounds us. It teaches us that we're actually alive. And it connects us to our higher self. Right? Again, emotional feeling, it just asks, well, what's wrong? And what if? And remember when? And this is my story. But experiential feeling, it just whispers, just be here now. Take a breath. We're safe. Come into your heart. So understanding the difference between these two, feeling emotionally and feeling experientially, is what this week's intention is all about. It's noticing the difference, understanding the difference, feeling the difference. Feeling emotionally is that wave of emotion that arises caught up in a story of the past or the fear of the future. Feeling experientially is in the present moment. And that can be, good or bad emotions. There is no good or bad. They all deserve our attention. Feel the emotion. Don't feed the story. Get out of the head and come into the body. What does it feel like? Allow it all. Again, when I think of sadness, my mom passing away. I could get caught up in the story. What I wouldn't do to be able to pick up the phone and call her and hear her voice. Talk to my mom again. Oh my goodness. So that can bring up so much sadness for me. I just want to talk to her. But if I get stuck in that story and, the past and the future, and I can't talk to her anymore, I'm stuck in the loop. But what if I just experience the sadness in the present moment? Oh my goodness, right? I don't get sad about the things that don't matter. What if I then felt the love, the connection, the gratitude? Not everybody had a wonderful relationship with their mother. I did. If I can sit in that love and that connection, completely different. I can feel the sadness. I can feel it. I can allow it. It's beautiful. Okay, so you can do this with any emotion. It can be anger. Just fully feel and appreciate the experience of any and all emotion. So this ability to do this can turn our old patterns of reaction into new ways of experiencing life or every emotion. So breathe, pause the story, get out of your head and feel into the moment. And that, it blows my mind. Like, yes, it's like be in the present moment, the mindfulness, the meditation. And it blows my mind that there are still people who think, meditation is woohoo or mystical or, brainwashing. It's like, well, meditation is a practice to help us to self-regulate, to get out of our head, to feel into our body, to come into the present moment. It's so important. So then the ways that we can practice feeling experientially without it needing to be like a story we're trying to get out of is to practice gratitude or to practice joy, right? Dance, move. If you like dancing, put some music on and just dance like no one's watching, or put your favorite song on and sing at the top of your lungs. Be in nature and just appreciate, again, the sun on your face, however it is. But come in, feel experientially. When you practice this and then you're triggered by an emotion, you get to learn how to come out of that reactivity of the emotion and experience present. It's profound and it will shift your life. You're no longer run by fear or the old stories or the old patterns. You see clearer, you feel more truthfully, and you respond more consciously. So that's what this week is all about feeling. Yes, feeling emotionally, because that's what we're used to, but feel experientially. Practice this. It will change everything. So have a fabulous week, my friends, of feeling experientially. Namaste.